To Whom the Wild Belongs by Reno Hunt. Chapter 4. It had taken all of his will to stop drinking 2 months ago. Since that time, he had been rebuilding his depleted body back up with soy protein, yoga, and an hour a day of the insanity workout. He was as tip-top as he could be, all things considered. However, the tightness creeping into his back and legs as he sat on the top of that mountain was evidence that he was not prepared for this terrain. The snow was completely gone, even at the top of the mountain, and the rocky ground would seldom leave tracks, making it much more difficult to find the spirit bear. It had taken 3 quarts of water and all the power in his shaking legs to get to this point, and all he could think about was that at least it was downhill, heading back to the truck. The sun suggested it was getting on late in the afternoon. Alan dropped the pack and would have it as a second base camp at the top of the mountain. So long as he followed the road, the pack containing the 25-pound camera could always be located. Alan looked down the mountain side, seeing the road run back and forth below him until it disappeared into the undergrowth. Heading back to the truck was downhill, and the distance of going straight down was a fraction of following the winding road, making this the more dangerous but smartest choice. He began a slow, careful, pack-free descent, thinking about everything that had transpired in his life since that last time he had traversed this mountain. It was the last time his life was really good. No, that's too strong. It was the last time he could remember that his career was really good. He didn't really work for National Geographic, at least not in the sense that he implied. His claim to fame was a piece he sold to National Geographic, or Nat Geo, as he referred to it in regaling his tale to moderately interested residents of adjacent bar stools. The piece was pure stroke of luck as he was trying to film wolves and wandered upon a moose with an injured calf. He followed the pair for more than a week as she fended off a lone male wolf until the drama reached its final, inevitable, tragic conclusion. Tears were streaming down his face as he filmed the finale. It was heartbreaking. It was poetry. No, it was opera. That piece pulled him out of the sea of rejection letters and delivered to him a nice payday and a legit resume. Since then, he had spotty success at a lesser level and soon found that his wife and baby girl were much more important than climbing through frozen mountains in search of snow leopards. His career had turned to being a wedding photographer with a self-printed business card that said, "Your big day deserves more." It was a living. 2 incomes and a modest lifestyle gave their daughter a comfortable enough middle-class upbringing, and Alan would once in a while take his camera and head to the wilderness. Over the years, the trips to the wilderness became fewer, and the stops at Cousin's Bar became more frequent. He had started going there to take the edge off of the day for a quick drink or two. Once a month became once a week, and before he knew it, the waitresses and bartenders knew his name and would give him a wave and a "Hey, Alan" when he came in. After about 6 months, his double vodka tonic was on the bar before his butt hit the stool. After a year, he was there every day at 5 o'clock, or people would ask, "Where were you yesterday?" Regulars were now friends and would saddle up next to him and ask how he had been. They would tell their life story, and he would tell them about the Nat Geo piece again and how the drama played out right in front of him. It's hard to say whether it was the worsening marriage that worsened the drinking or the other way around, but 2 years ago, almost to the day, they were officially divorced. Alan had crossed the road 6 times before the increasing brush forced him to follow it. The truck was a welcome sight, as hunger had been gnawing away at his gut. It felt good to be back out here. He felt alive again. After he filled his stomach with food and water, Alan stared up at the darkening sky and thought that he never wanted to leave. The world was not a great place to go back to. It never had been. With that thought, his frayed body welcomed sleep like a warm bath.